I bought a Maybach for 3.8 million in full, and my eldest aunt claimed it as a wedding car in the family group. She just arranged to use the second family's car. Nobody asked if I agreed. I looked at the message and didn't reply a word. The next day, I drove the car away. The moment 2.3 million arrived from the luxury used car dealership, my cousin's phone call came in. Where did you park my wedding car? I have a rehearsal tomorrow. It's sold. The family group was very quiet until eldest Aunt Zhang Kuifan posted a wedding photo, immediately followed by a string of congratulations and red envelopes. Dear relatives, Ling Hao's wedding is next Saturday. Thank you for your support. To give Ling Hao a grand wedding, we decided to use the Maybach from the second brother's family. It costs 100,000 to rent. Since we're family, let's not waste that money. It can be saved for the kids' honeymoon. The messages popped up one by one. No one had added me, and no one asked me a single thing. Ling Chen, is your car available? As if that car wasn't mine, but the Lin family's public property. Wow, eldest aunt really has prestige. Driving a Maybach is so prestigious. Yeah, once this wedding car appears, Lin Jian's family will definitely have a lot of face. We're all family. It should be like this. My dad, Lin Jianguo, also piped up. It's only right. A younger brother should help when his elder brother gets married. He agreed on my behalf, just like countless times over the past 20 years. I didn't reply a word. Silently turned off my phone. The next day was Monday. I took half a day off, without notifying anyone. I drove the black Maybach to the city's largest luxury used car dealership to finalize the sale. My phone received a notification of 2.3 million arriving, and, at that moment, a strange number called. I picked up casually. Hello, Ling Chen? Where did you park my wedding car? I have to rehearse the route with the wedding company tomorrow. Hurry up and drive the car to the office building and leave the keys at the front desk. I listened calmly and felt as if all the grievances and suppression from the last 20 years vanished. I even let out a light laugh. What? Did you hear? Hurry up and don't waste my time. The car is sold. On the phone, there was a dead silence. What did you say? I didn't give him another chance to speak. What did you say? The screen was instantly flooded with calls and messages. I blocked them and turned the phone off. The world became quiet. I got a new SIM card. The next day, I went to work as usual. Just as I arrived at the office, I saw my dad, Ling Jianguo's car parked by the roadside. He walked toward me in a rage. Ling Chen, you've grown quite bold, haven't you? Daring to hang up on me, and even turning off your phone. I ignored him, and walked straight toward the entrance. He grabbed my arm. Stop right there. Ling Hangguo continued. Where's the car? Did you really sell the car? Sold it. Are you crazy? That's your brother's wedding car. You just sell it like that? You've disgraced the entire Lin family. First, he's my cousin, not my brother. Second, it's a car I paid for in full with my own money. I can sell it if I want to. Third, I don't need the Lin family to give me face. Lin Jianguo's face turned beet red. You, what kind of attitude is this? I am your father. So, just because you're my father, you can dispose of my property without my consent? What do you mean your property? What's yours belongs to the family. When I bought the car, you didn't contribute a single penny. Now it suddenly belongs to the family. What you eat and what you wear. Wasn't it all provided by the family? You're a grown man now. What's wrong with asking you to contribute to the family? I've given the family over 600,000 yuan in the 5 years I've worked. Bought a house for the family. It contributed to cento 000 yuan. Is that enough to repay you for raising me? Ling Yangguo's face grew increasingly ugly. Why are you calculating so clearly? What for? Why must the family be so calculating? If we aren't calculating, does that mean you can treat me like a fool? I sneered. Fine. Enough. I am not arguing with you. Now is not the time for this. What about your brother's wedding? What do you expect him to do? That's his business and has nothing to do with me. How can it have nothing to do with you? This is all your fault. Who didn't ask in the group chat? I just agreed on your behalf. And who treated my car as theirs and ordered me around? Wasn't it because your aunt was in a hurry? Just because she's in a hurry doesn't mean she can be disrespectful. Why are you so stubborn, child? What's the use of saying all this now? Hurry up and find a way to solve it. There's no way. Why not? Take out the money from selling the car and just rent one now. I looked at him. So this was his ultimate goal all along. Money, I've already put it into an investment. It can't be withdrawn. You. Lin Jianguo pointed at me, trembling with rage. His phone rang. He looked at the caller ID and immediately put on a smiling face, then answered. Hello? Sister-in-law, what's wrong? Jianguo, you better handle that boy of yours. He's going to drive our whole family to their deaths. Ling Hao's bride is threatening to cancel the wedding because of the car. If this wedding doesn't happen, we're not going to live either. Lin Jianguo's face instantly turned pale. He anxiously comforted his sister-in-law on the phone. Don't worry, I am talking to Xiao Chen. We'll definitely solve it. Don't worry. He hung up and immediately turned his anger on me. Did you hear that? Your brother's wedding is about to be ruined because of you. Are you satisfied now? What kind of attitude is this? What else? Do you want me to kneel down and beg his wife not to call it off? Dad, I still have work. I am leaving now. I turned and walked away. Lin Jianguo grabbed me again and shoved the phone to my ear. Your aunt wants to talk to you again. Before I could even refuse, Zhang Kuifan's harsh voice came through. Ling Chen, you heartless little beast. How could the Lin family raise such an ungrateful wolf like you? I held the phone further away, waiting for her to finish her rant. I finally spoke calmly. Aunt, are you finished? Since we're talking about money, I happen to want to ask you something as well. 3 years ago, you said Lin Hao's business was struggling, and you took 50,000 yuan from me. You said you'd pay it back in 6 months, but it's been 3.5 years. Isn't it time you pay me back? There was sudden silence on the other end. Zhang Kuifen's breathing became heavy. What nonsense are you talking about? When did I ever borrow money from you? It's fine if you forgot. I have the transfer records here. You even gave me a written IOU. Do you want me to send you a photo? Zhang Kuifen went completely silent. Ling Jianguo stood by, stunned. I handed the phone back to him. A debt is a debt. It's only natural to pay it back. When my aunt returns the money, then we can talk about other things. With that, I turned and walked through the company gates. After work, I didn't go straight home. By the time I got back to my apartment building, it was already 10 p.m. I had just parked when I saw my uncle, Lin Jianjun, squatting by the flower bed, smoking. Seeing me, he immediately stood up and crushed his cigarette butt under his foot. So you do know how to come back. Something's happened. Come home with your parents and your aunts are all waiting for you at home. He tried to reach out and grab my arm, but I took a step back and dodged him. I don't have a home. This place right here is my home. You, why must you make things so ugly? Is it? You're the ones who insisted on making things this ugly. It's just a car, isn't it? What's wrong with letting your brother use it for a bit? How can you be so intolerant? Your brother. My things are mine to give to whoever I want. If I don't want to, no one is taking them. You really crossed the line, you damn brat. Provoked by me, he raised his hand to hit me. My gaze turned cold. Try touching me and see what happens. I took my phone out of my bag and pointed the screen at him. I've already called the police. They'll be here in 5 minutes. The surveillance here is very clear. Whatever you do to me now will be recorded clearly. It's all on camera. When the time comes, is your son's wedding more important, or you, the father, going to the police station for questioning? You choose. Lin Jianjun's hand froze in midair. He looked at me with eyes full of incredulity. You stood in a standoff, watch me, until finally, he slowly lowered his hand. Fine. Very well. Ling Chen, you just wait. This isn't over. It'll be waiting. I watched him leave in a rage. Getting home, I double-locked the door. I knew this was only the beginning. Sure enough, in less than 10 minutes, my new phone number rang. It was an unknown number. I hesitated for a moment, but answered anyway. On the other end was my mother, Liu Gilan. Her voice thick with suppressed tears. Xiao Chen, where are you? Please come back quickly. Something terrible has happened at home. Your grandmother had a heart attack because your aunt upset her. Grandma has been rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. My head buzzed, and my mind went blank. Grandma, the only person in this family who truly loved me. I hung up the phone, grabbed my car keys, and rushed out. I floored the accelerator. When I burst into the emergency hall of the city hospital, I immediately saw them. My father Lin Jianguo, my uncle Ling Jiangyong, my aunt Zhang Kuifen, and my cousin Ling Hao. Every single one of them was gathered outside the emergency room. But there was no anxiety on their faces, no worry. The moment Zhang Kuifen saw me, what erupted from her eyes wasn't grief, but venom and calculation. My heart sank abruptly. Where's Grandma? You still have the nerve to show up? Zhang Kuifen was the first to rush over. If anything happens to your grandmother, you are the murderer. I asked, where is Grandma? I pushed past her, trying to get into the emergency room, but Ling Jianguo grabbed me. Stop making a scene. The doctor is in there. How is Grandma? What did the doctor say? Lin Jianguo said, what else is there to say? He tried to hold me back, and Lin Hao walked over as well. Ling Chen, let me tell you, this isn't over. My wife said, if something goes wrong with the wedding, she will go and get an abortion. If anything happens, you'll be the sinner of our family. Just then, a nurse walked out of the outpatient clinic next door. Are you the family of the patient in bed 12? The patient's blood pressure has dropped. She's out of danger. Staying overnight for observation will be enough. Don't all crowd around here. It will disturb the patient. The patient. I pushed them aside, and my dad rushed to the door of the observation room. Through the glass window, I clearly saw Grandma lying quietly on the bed with an IV drip. She wasn't in the emergency room at all, and she wasn't in any life-threatening danger. In the past half hour, all my fears, all my worries, and all my self-blame felt like a massive joke. The chill rising from the soles of my feet instantly froze my blood. I slowly turned around and looked at the door, at that family. Seeing the panic and guilt they couldn't hide in time, I understood. This was a trap. A despicable, shameless trap using the grandmother I love most to force my hand. My dad looked a bit unnerved by my gaze. Xiao Chen, don't blame us. We were just too anxious. Yeah, the doctor said the situation was dangerous at first. Who could have known? I interrupted him, my voice cold as ice. Is that so? Did you want Grandma's condition to be dangerous or not? They were left speechless by my question. Step by step, I walked back in front of them. To force me to give you money? You even used Grandma's life as a bargaining chip for your lies. You've truly crossed my bottom line. I laughed, a cold laugh from the bottom of my heart. Since you love talking about money so much, let's have a good talk about money then. As my voice trailed off, the air in the corridor seemed to freeze. Ling Jianguo's face turned pale, then flushed with anger. What nonsense are you talking, child? When did we ever use your grandmother as a bargaining chip? Exactly. We were just frantic. With worry, Zhang Kuifen retorted, stiffening her neck. Only Lin Hao still looked as if everything was as it should be. Ling Chen, Stop trying to change the subject. The most important thing right now is my wedding. The wedding company, the hotel, the motorcade. Everyone is waiting for you to hand over the money from selling the car. Solve the immediate issues first. Family matters we can talk about later. He reached his hand out to me. Solve it first? Sure. Everyone was stunned. Ling Hao's face immediately lit up with joy. I knew it. We're all family after all. But before solving your problem, my problem needs to be solved first. I took my phone out of my bag and opened the calculator. Aunt, 3 years ago, which was 1,277 days ago, you borrowed 50,000 yuan from me. We agreed on a half-year term, with not too much to charge 5% annual interest, right? I did the math. The total principal plus interest is 63,425 yuan. Will you transfer the money now? Or should I post the IOU in the family group and let everyone judge? Zhang Kuifen's face instantly turned the color of pig liver. Why? Why are you calculating so clearly? For such a small amount of money, are you trying to drive me to death? A small amount? Erased my voice. This was the very first savings I scraped together when I started working. Back then, you came to me crying, saying Ling Hao lost money in business and was in desperate need of cash. I gave it to you without a word, and now you call it a small amount? Your own son matters, right? But someone else's child is just trash? Is that it? Zhang Kuifen was left speechless by my words. And you? Dad? I turned my gaze to Lin Jiangguo. He instinctively took a step back. Xiao Chen, your aunt didn't mean it. He didn't tell her. I interrupted him coldly. I just want to ask you. You just said that what's mine belongs to the family, right? It's good that we're all one family. I nodded. From today on, I will take care of Grandma. I'll hire the best caregiver for her and have her stay in the best nursing home. Since my money belongs to the family, then the family's money should naturally be spent on Grandma. Transfer 200,000 to my account right now, as the alimony and medical reserve for Grandma's first year. What? Lin Jiangguo and Lin Jianjun shouted in unison. Why don't you just go rob someone? Lin Jianjun said resentfully. I have to give you money to support my own mother? Lin Jiangguo's eyes widened like copper bells. You said it yourself. What's yours belongs to the family. I am just helping you fulfill your filial duty. You should thank me. You're just using twisted logic. Then there's nothing left to talk about. I put away my phone and turned to leave. Stop. Ling Hao rushed to block Ling Chen. What exactly do you want? I don't want anything. I looked at him and said word by word. The 63,000 from the eldest aunt, the 200,000 from my dad, that's 263,425 inches total. Before 8 tomorrow morning, I want to see this money in my account. And then, well, talk about your wedding car. Otherwise, forget it. Ling Hao trembled with rage. I walked around him and headed straight for the elevator. Behind me were their furious curses and roars as the elevator doors slowly closed. Early the next morning, I didn't receive their transfer. Instead, I got a call from my mother, Liu Gilan. She was sobbing on the phone. Xiao Chen, how could you do this to your father? He's your biological father. And your brother? His wedding is such a big deal. Can't you just give in a little? I didn't say a word. I listened quietly. When she was tired of crying and finished talking, I spoke calmly. Mom, I saw you at the hospital yesterday. The sobbing on the other end stopped abruptly. You were hiding at the corner of the corridor, watching them act, watching me rush in like a fool. You knew everything, but you didn't say a single word. Xiao Chen, from that moment on, you are no longer my mother. I hung up the phone and blocked her number. After freshening up, I went to the hospital. When I arrived, Grandma had just finished her examination and was sitting on the bed alone. Her cloudy eyes lit up when she saw me. Xiao Chen, you're here. Grandma, how are you feeling? I am fine. She sighed. I know about everything. Don't be angry with them. It's not worth it. My eyes grew moist. Grandma, come with me. I'll take care of you. She shook her head. She pulled out a small box tightly wrapped in cloth from under her pillow and opened it to reveal a rusty key and a yellowed property certificate. This is the house your grandfather left for you. My head started buzzing. Your grandfather passed away early. What he worried about most was you, fearing you'd be wronged in the future. He secretly transferred the old house to your name and this certificate. He asked me to keep them for you. I stared blankly at the property certificate. In the owner's column, clearly written was Ling Chen, dated 15 years ago. My dad, my mom, and my uncle's family had been living in the house under my name, sucking my blood with a clear conscience and plotting for my property. But no one ever told me that I was the owner of that house. Grandma, I know what to do now. I put away the property certificate and kissed her forehead. Get some rest. Wait until I speak. You walk out of the ward. You run straight into the two aggressive families. Zhang Kuifen points at me, spitting as she yells. Ling Chen, my son's wedding is being held today. If you don't take out the money now, well, go to court and sue you. I look at them as if I am looking at a group of clowns. Fine. I take out that old property deed and spread it out in front of them. It just so happens I am going to court to sue you too, for illegally occupying my personal property for 15 years. Now, immediately, get the hell out of my house. My words exploded like a bomb in the corridor. Zhang Kuifen was the first to scream. The property deed is fake. It must be fake. She reached out to grab it, but I flicked my wrist, easily dodging her. Ling Jianjun's face turned in order to avoid providing the wedding car. You really have no bottom line. Ling Hao rushed forward, trying to snatch the deed, to tear it up. Just as he was about to reach me, he didn't back down. I just coldly looked at the one who rushed in front of me. Ling Jianguo, Dad, if you let them touch me today, or touch this property deed, I guarantee you all be sleeping on the street tomorrow, and you'll go to your workplace and tell all our relatives everything about how you seized your late father's inheritance, about how you teamed up with your older brother's family to treat your son like an ATM, to squeeze him dry for 20 years. My voice wasn't loud, but every word was like a needle piercing Ling Jianguo's heart. His hand, which was reaching for me, suddenly stopped in midair. Don't be impulsive. Dad, why are you stopping me? Shut up. Ling Jianguo let out a roar. Lin Hao was stunned. Everyone was stunned. Lin Jianguo stared fixedly at the property deed in my hand. He knew better than anyone that this deed was real. Xiao Chen, can we go home and talk about this? Don't let your grandmother hear. Go home? I laughed. Back to which home? My home doesn't welcome you. I put the property deed in my bag to carry 24/7s. Your dear brother, dear sister-in-law, dear nephew, and my dear mother disappear completely from my house. Otherwise, it'll show up with a lawyer and security, and then things won't be so polite. Having said that, I turned and walked back to Grandma's ward and gently closed the door. From today on, my life, I am in charge. My house, I am in charge. And my money, especially, I am in charge. I arranged a transfer for Grandma to the best private hospital. Settled. Good. After settling her, I walked out of the ward, opened my phone. As expected, dozens of missed calls and hundreds of unread messages. The family group chat had exploded. Zhang Kuifen was weeping in the group chat. Relatives, please judge for yourselves. Ling Chen, to avoid lending the wedding car, sold a car worth over 2 million, and now brought out a fake property deed to kick our whole family out. Over a dozen people from 2 families, and he wants us to live on the streets. She twisted the truth, splashing bucket after bucket of dirty water on me. There was an immediate response in the group. So immature. Jianguo, how did you raise this son of yours? No matter what, you can't just kick your elders out. This is a great lack of filial piety. Relatives popped up one by one. Did even one person ask me for the truth? Not a single person cared about how much I had suffered. I looked at those cold words. There was no anger in my heart, only numbness. These are my relatives. It's truly laughable. I didn't say a single word in my defense. I silently took screenshots of all the chat history. Then I sent one last message, telling everyone that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, there will be a family meeting at the old house. Any relative with questions about this matter can come. I will, in front of everyone, settle the accounts for these years, one by one, including the money some people owe me. Please have it ready. Latecomers won't be waited for. After sending, I left all the neighborhood WeChat groups. The world was quiet once again. The phone rang. It was my mother, Liu Gilan. I intended to hang up, but somehow I ended up wasn't crying on the other end. It wasn't cursing, but a kind of suffocating, oppressive calm. Ling Chen, come home for a bit. Your dad locked himself in his room and said he's going to kill himself. He said, if you push him any further, he'll jump from the building. Your uncle and the others are breaking down the door. Come back quickly, before it's too late. I stood in the hospital, holding my phone in the white corridor, but my heart was a cold darkness. Here we go again. The same old trick, the same old routine. Emotional blackmail through family ties and threatening me with their lives. They really never let me down. I didn't head back immediately. First, I called Grandma's lead doctor. Then, to a number I hadn't contacted in a long time, I sent a message. Lawyer Zhang, I have a property dispute and debt recovery case. I want to hire you, he replied instantly. After finishing all this, I leisurely took a taxi to that so-called home. When I arrived, a crowd was gathered at the entrance. Looking up, I saw my father on the balcony, leaning out and screaming. I have no face to live anymore. I raised an unfilial son. He's trying to drive me to my death. Zhang Kuifen and Liu Gilan were pulling him from both sides, wailing, Jianguo, you can't do anything rash. Xiao Chen is just confused for now. Quite a realistic performance. I watched coldly with my arms crossed. Then, I took out my phone and started recording. The neighbor saw me and immediately surrounded me. Ling Chen is back. Quick, go up and talk sense into your father. I ignored them and walked straight into the building entrance. At the 3rd floor stairwell, my uncle Lin Jianjun and cousin Ling Hao were waiting there. Lin Jianjun raised his hand to hit me. You animal. I stepped back to dodge and looked at him coldly. You want to hit me? Guess fine. Whether you'll hit me first, or if the security guards from downstairs will rush up first. His hand froze. Only then did he notice the 2 uniformed security guards behind me. I called the police. They are illegally occupying my private residence. After I requested to reclaim the property, they used suicide as a pretext to threaten and emotionally blackmail me. The guards stepped forward with a serious look. All of you, come with us. Lin Jianjun and Lin Hao were on the balcony came to an abrupt halt. Lin Jianguo's face turned pale when he saw the police car downstairs. He crawled back inside from the balcony on his own. A carefully orchestrated melodrama instantly turned into a ridiculous farce. Zhang Kuifen pointed at me, trembling all over. Ling Chen, how dare you even try to harm your own father? I didn't look at him, but turned my gaze toward my mother. Liu Gilang. Her face was pale. Her eyes were evasive. I slowly walked up to her. One word at a time. Mom, have you had enough? Just as I stepped forward, my phone rang. Lawyer Shang. Mr. Lin, I've arrived downstairs with all the legal documents you requested. Property preservation application, compulsory execution application, and the debt collection notice for MS Zhang Kuifen. I've brought them all. I smiled, looking at the terrified faces in front of me. The good show had only just begun. Lawyer Zhang was about 40, with gold-rimmed glasses and a meticulous suit and a sharp gaze. With a powerful presence, he was followed by 2 young assistants. The tense atmosphere in the hallway instantly froze. The security guards were apprehensive as Lawyer Zhang nodded to them. My client, Mr. Ling Chen, is the sole legal owner of this property. These people, without permission, have occupied the property for a long time, and after my client made a legal request, they made personal threats in extreme ways, gathered a crowd to cause trouble, and seriously disrupted public order. He spoke calmly and spoke very logically. With every word he spoke, Ling Jiangren's expression worsened. He signaled his assistant to step forward and take several neatly bound documents from the briefcase, handing one to each person. Lin Jiangguo, Ling Jiangyong, Zhang Kuifen, and Liu Gilan. Ling Hao did not get one. He was treated as an insignificant accessory. First, concerning the property deadline, you must vacate within 24 hours, otherwise the court will proceed with mandatory enforcement. Second, concerning the debt, Mas Zhang Kuifen borrowed 50,000 yuan 3 years ago. The total with interest is 63,425. Repay it within 48 hours. Otherwise, for fraud and malicious non-payment, we will file a criminal lawsuit. Third, concerning personal safety, we have applied for a protection order, and once approved, you will be prohibited from approaching, contacting, or harassing my client and his grandmother. Lawyer Zhang's words were like a heavy hammer. The Lin family held those thin papers with trembling hands like leaves in the autumn wind. The color drained completely from their faces. Zhang Kuifen was the first to break down. I didn't borrow any money. This is slander. She reached out to tear up the lawyer's letter. Lawyer Zhang's eyes narrowed slightly behind his glasses. MS Liu, destroying legal documents is an obstruction of justice. Furthermore, we have the original IOU signed by you, as well as the recording from when the money was borrowed. Are you sure you want to discuss this in front of the police? Zhang Kuifen's hand froze. Ling Jiangguo's lips trembled as he looked at me. There was no anger in his eyes, only pleading. Xiao Chen, Dad was wrong. We can't do this. We're a family. If you kick us out, where can we go? And your mother. I finally spoke, my voice so cold, it lacked any trace of warmth. Where you go has nothing to do with me. My mom? I looked at the woman who had been hiding behind the crowd the whole time, without saying a word. From the moment you used Grandma's life to trick me into the hospital, to the moment you forced me to comply by threatening to jump off a building, and the moment she chose to stand by and watch, I no longer had a mother. Liu Gilan trembled all over, tears blurring her eyes. Xiao Chen, I turned my head away, refusing to look at her any longer. Lawyer Shang, as for everything else, I am leaving it entirely in your hands. Certainly, Mr. Jiang. I turned and went downstairs. Behind me were Zhang Kuifen's shrill screams and Liu Jiangguo's desperate wails, Liu Gilan's suppressed sobs. I didn't look back once. The next day, I witnessed their final act of desperation. Just as I checked in at the reception, a commotion broke out outside. Zhang Kuifen and Liu Gilan rushed in. Zhang Kuifen's hair was disheveled, her face covered in tears. Liu Gilan looked haggard and pitiful. The two of them held a white banner. Unscrupulous company protects an unfilial son. Black-hearted Ling Chen is driving his parents to death. It's an outrage. The company lobby fell silent instantly. Every colleague's eyes turned toward me at once. Ling Chen, you little beast, come out here. Zhang Kuifen wailed at the top of her lungs. For money, you've abandoned your own parents. You're kicking us out onto the street, and you even took away your grandmother. Liu Gilan also wiped away her tears. Little Chen, you can't be like this. Your father hasn't said a word since he came back from the police station. Sighs, he won't even eat. What if he does something drastic? Their coordinated acting was impeccable. The surrounding colleagues began to whisper, pointing and staring. The department manager arrived hearing the news. His face was livid. Ling Chen, is this your family? I nodded, my expression calm. Have the security guards kick them out. Zhang Kuifen immediately jumped up. We're not leaving. If your company doesn't give us an explanation today, we're staying right here. Someone who isn't even filial to their parents, how good can her character be? Can the products she makes be trusted? The manager pulled me aside and lowered his voice. Ling Chen, I don't care what's going on with your family. This is a company, not your neighborhood wet market. I am giving you half a day's leave. Deal with this immediately. Don't let your personal issues affect the company's image. I was suspended. This was their goal. To destroy my house, to destroy my money, and now to destroy my job. I looked at those two hideous faces in the lobby. Their eyes glinted with a triumphant and malicious light. I didn't argue, just calmly picked up my bag under everyone's gaze and walked out of the company lobby step by step, leaving their smug laughter behind. I dialed Lawyer Zhang number. Lawyer Zhang, initiate Plan B. I want to sue them for defamation and picking quarrels and provoking trouble. Also, help me contact a few media outlets. I have a story to tell. Understood, Mr. Jiang? He hung up. Then the phone rang again. It was the head nurse from the private hospital, her voice filled with unprecedented urgency. Mr. Jiang, please come to the hospital quickly. Your grandmother's relatives came to visit, and she's been severely triggered emotionally. Her blood pressure has surged, and she's fallen into a coma. My hand suddenly clenched the phone. They wouldn't even spare Grandma. My brain went blank with a buzzing sound. Grandma. They actually targeted Grandma. By the time I reached the hospital, Grandma had already been moved to the ICU. Through the thick glass, she lay quietly on the hospital bed, hooked up to tubes, with a weak line on the heart monitor. I could no longer control my tears. The head nurse walked over. Mr. Jiang, the old lady's life is not in danger for now, but she suffered a great shock. She needs absolute rest. The one who visited was your mother, she said. You were unfilial and said you were going to kill the whole family. The old lady was so angry she couldn't speak. I wiped away my tears, and my gaze once again turned ice cold. From now on, no one is allowed to visit except for me. I'll have the lawyer handle the formalities. I took one last look at Grandma, turned, and walked out of the hospital. No crying, no shouting, only a deathly silence in my heart. Despair is worse than death I went back to the hotel, opened the small box Grandma had given me, and found an even smaller key in the lining. Grandma had said, if they ever drive you to a dead end, go to the bank and open your grandfather's safe deposit box. I went to the old bank downtown and opened that quiet, 15-year-old safe deposit box. There were no jewels inside, only a yellowed craft paper envelope. With trembling hands, I opened Grandpa's letter and the bank statements and the handwritten confession with a bloody thumbprint. In the letter, Grandpa said his greatest regret in life was failing to change his two sons' wicked nature. This confession was written by my uncle, Ling Chen, himself. 20 years ago, he embezzled $300,000 from the factory. Grandpa sold the ancestral home to cover the gap and forced him to write this confession. Those bank statements are the solid evidence of Grandpa paying off the debts. Grandpa said he intended to take it to the grave, but feared no one would protect me, so he left this sword hanging over their heads. I held that heavy confession, tears blurring my vision. Grandpa, thank you. I walked out of the bank. The sunlight was blinding, and dialed Ling Jiangguo's number. Why are you calling again? To mock us? Tomorrow at 10 a.m., bring Daguo family and Liu Gilan to Lawyer Zhang office, and we'll settle this once and for all. By what right? Who do you think you are? I smiled faintly. You don't have to come, but I guarantee that by noon tomorrow, this 20-year-old embezzlement confession will be at the security bureau and the factory's archives. There was dead silence on the phone, only the sound of Lin Jiangguo's breathing turning heavy and panicked. Lawyer Zhang's office was on the top floor of the most high-end office building downtown. When I arrived, the team had been waiting for a long time. It was 9:55 a.m. The conference room door was pushed open. 5 people, every single one of them. Lin Jiangguo, Liu Gilan, Lin Jiangyong, Zhang Kuifen, and Lin Hao. Lin Jiangguo's face was ashen, his eyes shifting. Liu Gilan's eyes were red and swollen. Zhang Kuifen looked resentful. Lin Jiangyong was deathly pale, his eyes filled with terror. Only Lin Hao remained oblivious to the severity of the situation. They sat across from me. No one spoke. The air was so heavy it seemed to solidify. At 10 a.m. Lawyer Zhang cleared his throat. Everyone, we invited you here today to resolve some historical issues and reach a final legal settlement. With a look to his assistant, he pushed a document in front of Lin Jianjun. Lawyer Zhang said, Mr. Ling Jianjun, you should be familiar with this document. Lin Jianyong's body began to shake uncontrollably. No, this isn't real, Zhang Kuifen screamed. This is a forgery. Ling Chen, you're using such dirty tricks? Lawyer Zhang smiled faintly and pressed play. Grandpa's voice came through the speakers. Ling Jiangyong, get on your knees. 300,000. Do you want our whole family to go down with you? Write the confession and put your fingerprint on it. This will be a sword hanging over your head. If you dare to bully anyone in the family, especially little Chen, I'll crawl out of my grave just to send you where you belong. The recording also included Lin Jianjun's stifled sobbing. The playback ended, and the conference room fell into a dead silence. Lin Jianjun fell with a thud, sliding off his chair, slumped on the ground. His face was pale, cold sweat soaking his clothes. Little Chen, your uncle was wrong. I'll kowtow to you. I looked at him quietly, feeling no pleasure, only endless sorrow. I nodded to Lawyer Zhang, and he took out a second document. Since the facts are clear, let's discuss the terms for settling this matter. Lawyer Zhang's voice was cold and clear. First, regarding the property. All personal items must be moved out by 6 p.m. today. Leave nothing behind. Locks will be changed after 6 p.m., and any remaining items will be treated as trash, and any forced entry will be prosecuted as trespassing. Zhang Kuifen looked up sharply, but was held back firmly by Ling Jianjun. Second, debts. Zhang Kuifen owes 63,425 yuan. Lin Jiangguo, in the past 5 years, Ling Chen has transferred a total of 630,000 yuan to you, 200,000 of which was used for Lin Hao's house, which legally constitutes unjust enrichment and must be returned in full. What? Lin Jiangguo and Ling Hao screamed at the same time. That's what my son gave me out of filial piety. My brother gave it voluntarily. Lawyer Zhang pushed up his glasses. We have call recordings and chat records from the past 5 years. Every single transaction was the result of moral kidnapping or even forced payments under tantrums and threats. If there are any objections regarding unjust enrichment, we can discuss it in court. Lin Jiangguo's face turned purple, and he couldn't say a word. The two debts total 263,425 yuan. It must be paid by 6 p.m. today. Otherwise, fraud and unjust enrichment recovery lawsuits will start simultaneously. Third, guardianship and visitation rights. Lawyer Zhang's gaze fell on Liu Gilan. She trembled all over and lowered her head. While knowing grandma was in poor health, MS Liu Gilang used malicious visitation and provocative language, causing the elderly lady to fall ill. This conduct has constituted serious personal injury. Everyone will sign a statement, voluntarily waiving guardianship of grandma, support rights, and all visitation rights. From now on, Mr. Ling Chen is fully responsible for the lady. Fourth, the right of reputation. Zhang Kuifen and Liu Gilan made a scene at the company yesterday, which led to Ling Chen's suspension and damaged his reputation. Go to the company before 12 p.m. tomorrow. Publicly read an apology letter to clarify the facts, and obtain a letter of understanding from the leadership. Otherwise, a lawsuit for defamation and picking quarrels will see you in court. Fifth, severing ties. Lawyer Zhang closed the file, signed the agreement to sever all relations. From now on, you have no connection with Mr. Ling Chen. Your lives will be completely separate. The agreement is in 5 copies and takes effect immediately after notarization. He scanned the room. Regarding the conditions above, you have 10 minutes to consider. Sign if you agree, otherwise, we'll see you in court. Of course, Lin Zhenzhen's confession will also be delivered to where it belongs. It was so quiet in the room, you could hear a pin drop, leaving only heavy, desperate breathing. 10 minutes felt like an eternity, so long. Lin Jianjun was the first to crawl up from the floor, grabbing a pen and shaking like a leaf in the wind. He signed his name crookedly and pressed his thumbprint. After signing, he looked like he had been drained of all energy, slumping into his chair. Once there was a first, there was a second. Zhang Kuifen signed as well, grit her teeth with tears. Then it was Ling Jiangguo. He looked at me, his lips quivering, Xiao Chen. But my eyes showed no emotion at all. He lowered his head and signed. Liu Gilan was the last one. She picked up the pen, tears dripping on the paper. She looked at me a deep look, with an expression so complex I couldn't understand it. She said nothing, and signed. Only Ling Hao was left. He stiffened his neck, his face flushed red. I am not signing. Ling Chen, don't get too smug. This isn't over. Lawyer Sang spoke coldly. Mr. Ling Hao, it doesn't matter whether you sign or not. Your parents have already handled everything for you, and I've recorded your threat. If you dare to harm my client, this recording will be the best evidence against you. Ling Hao's face turned blue, then white. No one dared to stand up and support him. He kicked the chair hard and rushed out of the room without looking back. The agreement officially took effect. One by one, the dejected members of the Lin family walked out. When they passed by me, none of them dared to look. Relatives, once connected by blood, became the most familiar strangers at this moment. I sat there looking at the skyscrapers outside the window. I won this war, but I didn't feel any joy in victory. My phone vibrated with a bank notification. 263,425 received. I stood up, preparing to leave. Lawyer Sang stopped me. Mr. Lin. Lin Hao just had an argument with someone downstairs. It looked like they were debt collectors. Be careful. Walking out of the office building. The sunlight was blinding. A black van suddenly screeched to a halt in front of me. The door slid open with a crash, and several muscular men stepped out. A bald man with a fierce, fleshy face jumped down first. He was clutching someone. It was Lin Hao. His face was bruised black and blue, and blood was trickling from the corner of his mouth. Held by the bald man like a helpless chick, Lin Hao saw me, and his eyes flashed with venomous madness. It's him. He's my younger brother. He just sold his car for 2.8 million. Ask him for the money, he has it. The bald man turned his head. A pair of sinister eyes fell upon me, sizing me up and down. He opened his mouth, revealing a mouthful of yellow teeth. Young man, your brother owes us 500,000 inches gambling debts. Are you going to pay it back for him? Or should we take one of his legs? The bald man's words were like poisoned icicles. I pushed past Lawyer Zhang and walked up to the bald man, without a trace of fear on my face. I looked at the bald man, and then at Lin Hao, who was kneeling there like a dead dog. I smiled, very softly. You say a brother pays his brother's debts? My voice was as calm as a pool of stagnant water. I don't have a brother. Everyone was stunned. Lin Hao suddenly looked up. Ling Chen, you are my biological brother. I looked down, at him, my gaze, as if looking at a pile of trash. Is that so? Oh? An hour ago, on the top floor of this building, we just signed an agreement to sever our relationship. It's in black and white, with a lawyer and a notary. Legally speaking, you, Lin Hao, and your parents have absolutely nothing to do with me. You are not my brother, and I am not your brother. Whether you live or die, or lose your limbs, it has nothing to do with me. Ling Hao trembled all over. You're so vicious. We're family. Family? I laughed. A laugh colder than crying. Did you care about family when you kicked my grandmother into the ICU? Did you care about family when you hung banners at my office to force me out? Did you think of family then? You've been sucking my blood for 20 years. Did you care about family when you treated me like an ATM? With every word I spoke, I took a step closer to him. My voice grew colder, and my gaze sharper. Ling Hao, it's you, all of you, who turned me into this. A cold-blooded monster who recognizes no kin. So why should I show mercy to a stranger like you? Lin Hao was speechless, his face filled with terror. The bald man frowned. Kid, don't play games with me. Blood ties don't just break. You're paying up today, understand? I looked him straight in the eye. And if I don't, then I'll take one of his legs. The bald man pulled out a steel pipe from behind him. He weighed it in his hand. Lin Hao was terrified. Ling Chen, save me. I'll never do it again. I'll be your servant. Anything. I didn't look at him. I looked at the bald man. The air went deathly silent. The bald man's hand froze in midair. What did you say? I said, do it. My tone was as calm as if I were saying, the weather is nice today. Doesn't he owe you 500,000? One leg is worth 250,000. Take another leg. Or an arm. That's another 250,000. That makes us even. What do you think of that plan? I looked at the bald man and gave a bone-chilling, devilish smile. The bald man looked at my smile, and a chill ran down his spine. You're fucking crazy. The lackey behind him shouted. Ling Hao was completely stunned, his eyes filled with nothing but fear and despair. You devil, you'll get what's coming to you. I ignored him, just watching to see why the bald guy didn't dare to act, or if he was just trying to intimidate me. I won't give you a single penny. Leave now, and I'll pretend this never happened. If you dare to touch me, I handed over lawyer Zhang's business card. Intentional injury, organized crime, a 10-year sentence wouldn't be a problem. 500,000 yuan in exchange for 10 years in prison. Is it worth it? Do the math yourself. The bald guy's expression was grim. Suddenly, he slammed the steel pipe on the ground. Damn it, just my bad luck. He dragged Lin Hao away. Go find your parents. Lin Hao clung tightly to the utility pole. My parents have no money, no money. Sell that old house, it's worth at least 3 million. My face darkened. That house was left to me and Grandma by Grandpa. Stop right there. The bald guy looked back. What's on your mind? For your brother? No, I looked at him and said word for word, but I can show you a way out. Let him pay back himself. With what? I turned my gaze to Ling Hao. When you got married, your wife asked for 300,000 yuan as a dowry, and she brought a car as part of her wedding gift. It's all in your wife's hands, isn't it? Ling Hao's face was deathly pale. What? What do you want to do? Have your wife use her premarital property to save you, or let your parents sell the house and sleep on the streets, or let this guy take your arms and legs? It's your choice. After saying that, I turned to lawyer Zhang and said, let's go. Behind us were Ling Hao's heart-wrenching cries and the bald guy's demonic whisper, premarital Let's assets. Go talk to your wife. Interesting. The farce. I got into the car, watching the city scenery recede outside the window. My heart felt no emotion at all. Lin Hao's marriage was finished. Lin Jianguo and the others were losing their house, hounded by debt collectors, and the company was coming for them. Life was about to fall into hell. Just retribution. Then the phone vibrated. A message from the manager. Ling Chen, come to work as usual tomorrow. I received your family's apology letter about my previous attitude. I am sorry. I looked at the message and deleted it. No need for an apology. I replied with 2 words, resigning. Then I turned off my phone. The world became quiet. That old house, which held 20 years of painful memories, I listed it with a real estate agent. It sold the next day for 2.7 million. The final physical separation was complete. I went to the office to resign. The manager tried repeatedly to make me stay. I refused. My colleagues' looks were complicated. I didn't care. The moment I walked out of the office, I deleted everyone's contact info. I went to the hospital. Grandma had been moved from ICU to a VIP room. She was in much better spirits. When she saw me, her cloudy eyes lit up. Xiao Chen. I held her warm hand. Grandma, I am here to take you home from the hospital. Tears welled up in the corners of her eyes. Let's go home. On the other side of town, in a quiet, high-end residential area, I rented a decorated 2-bedroom apartment. Grandma, this will be our home from now on. It's very quiet. No one will come to disturb us. I have hired a caregiver for you. Auntie will talk with you during the day, accompanying you every day. I took out my phone and logged into a long unused writing account and typed the first line in a blank document. This is a story about rebirth. The protagonist of the story is also named Ling Chen. The wind blows outside the window, bringing the breath of new life. I know that my brand new life has only just begun from this moment. Time is the best medicine. Grandma's health gets better day by day, and the smiles on her face increase. My novel was serialized online and successfully caught a publisher's eye, leading to a book contract. Lawyer Zhang called. Mr. Jiang, congratulations. You've completely moved on from the past. There's something I think I should let you know. The 2 families are squeezed into a tiny rental house, cursing each other. Zhang Kuifen and Liu Gilan were scuffling on the ground, their hair disheveled. As onlookers pointed and stared. Lin Jianguo fell at the stairs while drunk and broke his leg. In the hospital corridor, Liu Gilan was pushing Ling Jianguo in a wheelchair alone. Looking utterly exhausted, Ling Hao divorced his ex-wife, who took the child, the car, and the 300,000 yuan dowry. Ling Hao is hiding from debt collectors everywhere, not showing his face for a long time. After the 2 families moved out of the old house, they had a complete falling out and argue every day in their rental. Zhang Kuifen and your mother fought in the neighborhood, ruining their reputations. Your father got drunk, broke his leg, and is lying in the hospital. While your mother takes care of him, she also gets scolded. She has become unrecognizable from exhaustion. Thank you. Lawyer Zhang hung up the phone. I walked to the balcony. In the park downstairs, children were playing and laughing. The sun was perfect. My heart felt no ripples, no sense of triumph, and no sympathy. It was like listening to a distant story that had nothing to do with me. Those people and those things have truly left me. Autumn passed and winter came. The city had its first snow. I accompanied Grandma to watch the snow in the park. When we were about to head home, a familiar figure appeared not far away. Liu Gilan, my mother, was wearing a faded old cotton jacket. Her hair was gray, her posture hunched. She was holding a large white woven bag, rummaging through a trash can. My steps halted. Grandma saw her too. She seemed to feel our gaze and slowly looked up. Our eyes met. Her face was instantly filled with shock, panic, and utter shame. She instinctively tried to hide the plastic bottles behind her back, but in her haste, the bottles scattered on the ground with a clatter. She stood frozen and at a loss. My heart was very calm. Supporting Grandma, I turned to leave. Xiao Chen. She finally found the courage to call out, her voice hoarse. I stopped, but didn't look back. She stumbled toward us, stopping 3 paces away. She didn't dare to look at me, only looking at Grandma, her eyes instantly turning red. Mom, I am sorry. I just wanted to see you, Grandma sighed. Without saying a word, I looked at her face, which was filled with regret and pain. She truly regretted it. But so what? I took a wad of cash from my wallet, about 2,000 yuan, stepped forward and shoved it into her hand. She was stunned. I looked into her eyes and said word by word, I am not your son, and you haven't been my mother for a long time. I continued. Everything between us ended when you gambled with Grandma's life. This money isn't for you. It's for a poor stranger. Picking up bottles in the freezing wind, take it to buy a thick coat, eat a full meal, and then forget about us. We've already forgotten you too. Don't bother our peaceful lives ever again. After saying that, I took Grandma's hand and turned into the entrance. Behind us were his suppressed, desperate cries shattered by the wind and snow. Grandma glanced back, then turned back around, gently patted my hand. Xiao Chen, it's all in the past. Yeah, it's all in the past. The elevator door slowly closed, shutting everything out, completely shutting out the wind and snow. My long buried past. In the spring of the next year, my first book, New Life, was published and topped the bestseller list on day 1. The publisher organized a small book signing for me. The weather was sunny that day. I sat at the signing table, looking at the long queue of people, and suddenly felt a sense of relief. I wrote my story down, not to accuse, not to gain sympathy, but to tell young people stuck in the mud like I was that you are the only person you can truly rely on. The signing ended. I went back to my new home, greeted by the aroma of food. My grandma sat on the sofa with her reading glasses on, reading my new book so intently, so focused. Hearing me return, she looked up, a proud smile on her face. My Xiao Chen is a great writer now. I said beside her, Grandma, I am just a storyteller. It's different. She closed the book carefully and placed it on the coffee table. Your story gives people strength, and that is more important than anything. We had dinner together. Grandma said, when it gets warmer, she wants to see the seaside. She had never seen the real ocean in her life. I said, okay, well, I'll go next month. That night, after finishing my work, I went to the balcony alone. The city night, with its shimmering lights, looked like a galaxy. Just then, the phone rang. Ling Chen, teacher, the film rights for New Life were bought by a top company. A new chapter of your life is beginning. I smiled, looking up at the vast, deep blue night sky. The real life that belongs to me, Ling Chen. From now on, the world is wide and my true self will soar.